And that, my children, is how I stopped World War III. Oh, and yes, here we are at the Explorers News Network, the illumANark, reporting on Super Monday Night Combat. Yes, this is a game that unfortunately I had to play some solo games of because of the fact that after 5 minutes, which is about the longest I'll tolerate sitting around for a multiplayer queue, 5 minutes in, I said, you know something, I am just gonna beat up robots myself. And yes, I beat up robots myself, and I am such an oppressor of the robot population. They are not your friends. Don't let the AI fool you. They want you dead. So, as I fight my robot oppressors, I will continue to obliterate them with an automatic rifle. Yes, I'm using my automatic rifle and I keep shooting it because it is what I must do. These nanites are allowing me to control this particular character in this lovely game that we know as Super Monday Night Combat. And yes, it's the Combat Wombat. Yes, here we go. They got my money ball down already. And basically, I can only tend to, by solo, survive into round 5. Which is okay. There are probably people who are far better than myself at this game. But they always seem to be involved in other games. So, queuing up multiplayer is very difficult to do. Especially since you don't choose your role first. Obviously, you choose your role after you've made it into a game, but the problem is making it into a game in the first place. Now, this is a fun game, and I can spend a lot of time playing it. Maybe not as much time, or at least not as much intensity, as playing something as simple as, well, zombies, monsters, and robots. But I still try to play this game every now and then when I just feel like I need a popcorn game and I want to shoot the heck out of something. So as we're speaking about that, let's talk about popcorn games. What is a good popcorn game? It's a game that's light entertainment that doesn't require any mentality to actually play, barely requires any skill. It's basically just point and shoot type game. Now, there are a lot of popcorn games that I feel that fall in the first person shooter genre. Okay, mainly because they just don't require a great deal of forethought to be able to play. And if you listen to the trash mouths of the average player, you'd basically end up agreeing that it really doesn't require a great deal of brains to be able to play that game. But it does require sometimes some effort, some skill, and yes, my grandson is blisteringly good at it. Blisteringly good enough that I'm considering opening up a channel for the Crosshair Kiddo. Because I have to say, the first-person shooter genre, he puts me to shame. But then again, I happen to personally enjoy the, well, either the third-person shooter, something like along the lines that it's actually a role-playing game like The Division, which does require a great deal of thought to, maximize your builds and such and whatnot. Or I'll enjoy something that otherwise, requires some serious engagement on my part. This is a game that just allows me to, just blow stuff up. And there's nothing wrong with that kind of game, honestly. There are millions of those kinds of games out there for just that reason. That's why people play Farmville and other stuff. So as they can just shut their brains off and not think in the least. And that's okay. Because, there are worse things in the world. But, I happen to like role-playing games where my grandson tends to personally enjoy first-person shooters. And there I lose a game again. Yes, well, Blitz is a game really best played by 3 to 5 players. But it's not really an option when you can't find anyone else to play with. I can't find anyone else to play with. I don't know what to do myself, and I'm not watching Honey Boo Hoo. Nor am I watching inane entertainment like SpongeBob SquarePants. Ugh. Mainly because I don't, for as much as that I like brain candy, I would honestly prefer the kind of brain candy that's like a Star Wars novel. Why? It doesn't require much range. There's a whole lot of history built to the genre, so you don't really have to worry about understanding the universe too much, since there's so damn much information out there. It's pretty easy to understand the universe. Then there's I don't as much. I enjoy some of the Star Trek novels. I tend to enjoy myself with stuff I enjoy myself with, but it takes. If I need to take my mind off of something, it's not gonna be doing something like watching cat videos. Oh, dear God, please no. Not that cat videos aren't absolutely adorable. It's just a fact that, dear goodness, how much of that do I have to withstand before it's just overwhelming? I rather choke on motor oil, and sometimes I feel like I am when I watch that stuff. It's just inane entertainment has always driven me crazy, and yet there are many things that I inanely entertain myself with. And I realize that may sound extremely hypocritical, but something, if you can't understand that there's stuff that people like, and there's stuff that people don't like, and that's just the end of it. That is just the way things are. There are people who love Star Wars but can't stand Star Trek. And there are people who love Star Trek but can't stand Star Wars. And there are people who love Adventure Time but can't stand people who love Star Trek or Star Wars. And yet they all go to conventions. They'll all go to conventions, and unless the conventions are centric to things like TennoCon was, which was specifically centered around Warframe. Unless the convention is specifically centered, like Comic-Con, yeah, it's focused around comics, but at the same time, it's broadly focused around geekdom in general, things that cause people to geek out over their experience, what they love, what they like, what they want, hope, dream for. Because overall, it's not really important how much you like to watch, or what you like to watch, or when you like to watch it, or who you like to watch it with. Fact is, if you enjoy it, if you're a Doctor Who person but you can't stand Star Trek or Star Wars, well, so be it. I still think you have an odd sense of taste, because I can enjoy my Star Trek, my Star Wars, my Doctor Who, unless I'm watching it with my buddy George. Oh my God, 35 hours of watching Doctor Who damn near unabated. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get that boy to turn the TV off, and he tried to keep me up for 35 hours straight. And there was a time in my youth that was highly achievable. That youth has ebbed, just waned. It has gone off into the past. The days of all night playing Dungeons and Dragons, all weekend playing Dungeons and Dragons, surviving on soda and pizza are just gone for me. And it's not that I'm all that upset about it, because I have moved on to other things. And one of these other things is playing video games. And yes, as the illumANark, I play a great deal of games. Games. We have games of every shape, size, and color. And yes, we are here. And once again, we are supported by this particular video is brought to you by our sponsor, Cthulhu 2016. Cthulhu for president. Why vote for the lesser of two evils? So, with that, yes, it's not really a sponsored video. If anybody thinks that Cthulhu is actually running for president, then, obviously they're the people that truly think that writing Mickey Mouse in as a candidate is going to, get Mickey Mouse elected. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to. I'm pretty sure that any mouse they put in there, including whatever Mickey Mouse candidate actually does finally get elected, it's all going to be the same. Regardless of who gets into power, it's just going to be a channel to how quickly we in America lose our freedoms. This is not the country that I raised my hand to support with my efforts in the service. This is so sadly not the country I willingly entered the military for. Or at least this is not the country I entered the military for, and to let it get this paranoid. With that, I have to say, I am out. This is the illumANark, wishing you peace and freedom of thought, while the thought police are not yet involved. With all that, I see peace out for today, peace out for tomorrow, peace out to you always, and I am out. Of your money ball remaining. I should go pro.